Crime organizations have existed for hundreds of years. Even during the time of ancient Rome, there were groups of criminals who banded together to commit crimes and terrorize the population. However, in modern times, crime organizations have become much more sophisticated and powerful. And today, we will be exploring the untold story of the world's most dangerous mafias. Welcome to our channel. In this episode, we will take an in-depth look at some of the most notorious and influential crime organizations in the world and uncover the secrets behind their power and influence. From the Italian Mafia to the Japanese Yakuza, we will explore the history, culture, and criminal activities of these groups and learn about the impact they have had on society. So sit back, relax, and get ready to delve into the dark underbelly of the world of crime. Ancient China, the origins of the triads, can be traced back to the Qing dynasty when the Chinese government implemented a series of oppressive policies that led to widespread discontent among the population. The Hakka people, an ethnic minority in southern China, were particularly affected by these policies and began to band together for protection and rebellion. These early triads were primarily involved in smuggling and piracy, but soon expanded their activities to include gambling, prostitution, and opium trafficking. In the early 20th century, the triads became involved in the opium trade between China and the United States and amassed a great deal of wealth and power. During this time, the Chinese Exclusion Act was implemented in the U.S., which barred Chinese immigration and made existing Chinese residents vulnerable to exploitation. Triad leaders took advantage of this by forcing Chinese laborers into servitude and creating a system of debt bondage. Despite efforts by law enforcement to crack down on triad activities, the organizations remained resilient and continued to thrive. One notable event was the 1962 murder of Sir Norman Bethune, a Canadian diplomat who had been critical of the Hong Kong police force. The murder was carried out by the 14K Triad Society and sent shockwaves through the international community. Despite the severity of the crime, the perpetrators were never brought to justice, highlighting the power and influence of the triads. Today, the triads remain a significant criminal threat in many parts of the world. They are involved in a wide range of illegal activities, including drug trafficking, human trafficking, and money laundering. In recent years, they have also expanded their operations online and are now a major player in cybercrime. Despite ongoing efforts by law enforcement and government agencies to combat triad activities, these organizations continue to adapt and evolve, making them one of the most dangerous and elusive criminal groups in the world. The Sicilian Mafia, also known as the Cosa Nostra, has its roots in the 19th century in Sicily, Italy. During this time, Sicily was under the control of the Kingdom of Italy and was plagued by poverty, inequality, and government corruption. The people of Sicily turned to a form of organized crime to protect themselves from the injustices of the government and the wealthy landowners who controlled the island. The first recorded use of the term mafia was in 1860 during the Italian unification, when Sicilians fought against the Kingdom of Sardinia, which eventually became Italy. The term mafia was used to describe the criminal element of the Sicilian society. After unification, the mafia grew in power and influence due to the introduction of new technologies such as the automobile and the airplane, which allowed them to transport their illegal goods and services more efficiently. During the early 20th century, the mafia became heavily involved in the bootlegging industry during the Prohibition era in the United States. This brought in a lot of money and further increased their power and influence. However, in the mid-20th century, the Italian government launched a campaign to fight the mafia known as the Italian anti-mafia strategy. This campaign resulted in the imprisonment of many mafia bosses and a decline in their power. Despite this setback, the mafia has managed to survive and adapt to the changing times. Today, the Sicilian mafia is involved in a wide range of criminal activities, including drug trafficking, extortion, and money laundering. They have also diversified their criminal interests and are now involved in legitimate businesses such as casinos, restaurants, and nightclubs. One of the most infamous members of the Sicilian Mafia was Salvatore Lo Piccolo, who became the head of the organization in 2006. He was known for his brutality and was responsible for ordering the killings of several police officers and politicians. He was finally arrested in 2013 after a decade on the run. Another prominent member of the Sicilian Mafia is Matteo Messina Denaro, who is considered to be one of the most powerful and dangerous mobsters in the world. He has been involved in a wide range of criminal activities, including drug trafficking and extortion. Despite being on the run from the police for years, he has managed to evade capture and remains at large. The Russian Mafia. The Russian Mafia has its roots in the criminal underworld of the former Soviet Union. During the Soviet era, there was a significant amount of black market activity, which provided the foundation for the development of organized crime groups. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, these groups grew rapidly due to the introduction of capitalism and the emergence of a wealthy class. In the 1990s, the Russian Mafia became known for its involvement in violent crimes such as murder and extortion. The group's main source of income was the illegal sale of weapons, which they obtained from military bases and government arsenals. They also became involved in the trafficking of drugs, women, and children. Despite the efforts of law enforcement agencies to crack down on the Russian Mafia, the group has remained elusive and difficult to prosecute. Their ability to bribe and intimidate witnesses has allowed many of their members to avoid justice. Moreover, the group's involvement in high-level political and business circles has made it challenging for authorities to dismantle their operations. In recent years, the Russian Mafia has expanded its criminal activities beyond Russia's borders. The group has been involved in a number of high-profile cybercrime cases, including the 2017 NotPetya attack, which caused billions of dollars in damages. They have also been involved in a number of financial scams targeting individuals and businesses. One of the most infamous members of the Russian Mafia is Semyon Mogilevich, who is believed to be the leader of one of the largest crime groups in the world. Mogilevich is wanted by the FBI for his involvement in a scheme to defraud banks and financial institutions. Another prominent member of the Russian Mafia is Teriel Oniani, who is known for his involvement in a number of violent crimes. Despite the dangers associated with their lifestyle, many young Russians are still drawn to the allure of the Mafia lifestyle. The group's reputation for violence and intimidation has made it a formidable criminal organization that continues to thrive in the shadows of Russian society. The Japanese Yakuza. The Japanese Yakuza is one of the oldest and most powerful crime organizations in the world. It has its roots in the Edo period of Japan, when groups of criminals known as Bakuto and Yato emerged. These groups were involved in gambling, extortion, and theft. During the Meiji period, these groups merged to form the Yakuza, which initially focused on labor racketeering and gambling. However, after World War II, the Yakuza became involved in the narcotics trade and other white-collar crimes. In the 1980s and 1990s, the Yakuza expanded their criminal activities to include corporate extortion, financial fraud, and money laundering. They have also been involved in a number of violent crimes, including murder and the trafficking of women and children. The Yakuza operates much like the Sicilian Mafia with a strict code of conduct and a hierarchical structure. Members of the Yakuza are expected to be loyal to their organization and to uphold its traditions and values. The group has a strong presence in Japanese society, and its members are often involved in legitimate businesses such as construction and entertainment. One of the most infamous members of the Yakuza is Kazuo Teoka, who is the leader of the Yamaguchi-gumi, the largest Yakuza group in Japan. Teoka was involved in a number of high-profile crimes, including the 1981 assassination of a politician. Another prominent member of the Yakuza is Kenichi Shinoda, who is known for his involvement in the narcotics trade and money laundering. Shinoda is also believed to be involved in a number of other criminal activities, including extortion and financial fraud. Despite the dangers of being involved in such an organization, many young Japanese men are drawn to the Yakuza for various reasons, including the promise of power, money, and brotherhood. The group's strict code of conduct and hierarchical structure provides a sense of discipline and order that is appealing to some. However, the criminal activities of the Yakuza continue to pose a serious threat to Japanese society, and law enforcement officials are working hard to bring down this powerful crime organization. As we conclude our exploration of the world's most dangerous mafias, we hope that you have gained a deeper understanding of the origins, culture, and criminal activities of these elusive organizations. From the triads of China to the Yakuza of Japan, each of these groups has its own unique history and traditions. But they are all united by their commitment to crime and their ability to operate with impunity. We would love to hear your thoughts on the most fascinating aspects of these mafias. Which organization do you find the most intriguing, and why? Have you ever encountered any members of these groups, or have you ever been a victim of their crimes? If so, we encourage you to share your experiences in the comments below. Thank you for watching this episode. We hope that you enjoyed learning more about the untold story of the world's most dangerous mafias. Please don't forget to subscribe so that you won't miss out on future videos.